as hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty!
This is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Phone numbers to call in are 277-9600 or 775-9600. We're streaming live HD video on theledgeradioshow.com, and check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. Smitty, say hello to the listeners.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
What you got this morning for us, Smitty?
Oh, there's so much to talk about. What a great week we've had, huh? First of all, before we get started, we are going to have Sheriff Mike Scott in the office here with us, and we'll be able to, go after him a little bit if he doesn't get us first. So.
Well, if anybody wants to call in and talk to the sheriff, he's going to come on in about 10 minutes. So get yourself primed up again, 277-9600 or 775-9600. Smitty, what's the first topic we got, man?
Well, the buzz, I guess the big thing now is the baseball thing, of course, with Ozzie Guillen. He sparked a big controversy this
Ozzie
week.
from the Marlins, yeah?
Yep, and apparently he said I love Fidel Castro.
What's wrong with that?
Well, obviously he's in a Miami town with a lot of Hispanic people, and I can understand them being very irate and very upset with the man. But
sure,
when you're wearing that kind of uniform when the Marlins and you're in a town like that, you just don't do something that's stupid. That's just idiotic.
Well, what's he looking at for that? Is he, are they sending him to jail? They're going to bury him? What are they doing?
Probably both, but he should just know better. You know what I mean? They said he got suspended for 5 games.
Got suspended for.
I would have fired him. I would have fired him.
You would have fired him
I would have fired him.
For him just speaking his mind and using his First Amendment right.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. I would have fired him because it's just ridiculous. You don't walk into a bank and yell, hold up, okay? You just don't do that. There's some responsibility that goes along with this. And
I understand, but you got to keep in mind, too, that's his First Amendment right. I mean, you know me. I'm the first one to say, that I don't like Fidel Castro. That's my opinion.
Would you say you love him?
No, I wouldn't because I don't.
That's right, because most people wouldn't. But he did, so it shows what he is. He's not right.
But that's okay. You don't have to be, smart to be in his position. I mean, he's allowed to make mistakes. But he came out and apologized for it, which I'm sure he had to. He's probably told to keep his job.
Sure.
But, that just because he says that, you got a private company, the Florida Marlins, that have suspended him for, just stating his, what he believes.
He got off easy. He should have been fired.
Well, I don't agree. That's our first. I mean, that's our First Amendment right. I don't agree with what he said. That's not my belief. But I don't think he should be suspended for just speaking his mind. That to me is ridiculous. That to me is socialism or communism, man. That's ridiculous. That's like what would happen to him if he was in Cuba and said it.
We can argue the point till the cows come home. The bottom line is some things you just don't say, and that this is a great country and I'm all for it, but you don't talk bad about it, and that's what he basically was doing, was saying, hey, I live in America, so I love Fidel Castro and I'm going to support him, and nobody wants to support a guy like that. And it's the only place in this northern hemisphere that is a communism, I believe. So, I'm for just putting them away.
I understand. All right, Smitty, we got a caller on the line. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Go.
¿Qué pasa contigo, mi hermano?
Yeah, okay, you too.
¿Qué pasa?
Un favor, profe. Necesito un español.
No habla español, but I do have some yard work for you. Next caller.
Hey, Obama, yes, we can.
No, we can't. Bye-bye, caller. Man, we're going to get all kinds.
See what you did? You wanted to support him, and now you got him calling in. That's why you don't do it. That's why you don't support him.
Let me give Smitty's personal cell phone number out in case you need to call him for a job.
I'll give your house address if you keep it up.
I hear you. What else you got for us? Because now, you know what? Sticking with Ozzie real quick. He did get suspended, and he did retract his statement, or at least clarify his statement, because I believe that statement was taken in a magazine article. It wasn't. He came back on the air and recanted. He apologized. He meant it this other way. Kind of used his Spanish, English translation.
He's not even Cuban. I don't think he's like Puerto Rican.
He's Venezuelan.
He's Venezuelan.
At least that's where he was born.
Okay.
But he did say that he did not love. He didn't like Hugo Chavez. He said he would never vote for him.
Now he says it.
He said he would rather die than vote for Hugo Chavez.
I didn't see that in print.
That was I saw. Well, I'm sure if it's on Google, it's got to be correct.
It's
right?
gospel. It's gospel if it comes out of the.
All right. What else you got for us, Smitty?
As far as the sports goes, I know I'm all excited about the draft that's coming up. If anybody knows, I'm a huge NFL guy. I love the draft, and so we're going to.
Yeah, but you're a one-teamer guy, though.
You're
Ravens all the way. That's it.
No, I like the Washington area. I like all those teams. So, but that's coming up the 26th.
Who's you guys got any prospects for the Ravens you know of? They looking to pick up anybody to
Baltimore's sitting tight, man. We're doing good. And
well, your boy Ray Lewis. I mean, he's good and all, but he's getting old. I mean, if he's not running straight, he's going down.
It's not about one team, my friend. It's about a lot of teams. So who do you like?
Well,
I know you're a big college guy.
Yeah,
you like college.
Yeah, I'm actually.
You're a Tebow guy.
I am Tebow 100%. Every day of the week. I don't care what team he's on.
Do you Tebow in the morning? Do you get down and Tebow in the morning?
If I could bend over, I would. Okay, but that hurts.
Mm-hmm. I bet it does.
Yeah. Well, I'm all for wherever Tebow's at. I mean, I'm.
What do you think about him going to the Jets?
That was a weird one. That was strange.
You still supporting him now because he's at the Jets?
I'll support him.
But you don't like the Jets?
It's not that I don't like him. I just...
Go ahead. Tell him you don't like the Jets. It's
just not a team I follow.
It's because in New York, it's a liberal town. You don't like the Jets. I'm going to tell on you, okay? This is it.
All right. If you got to say it, that's
fine.
And as far as I'm concerned, I'd like to see Tebow come back to Florida.
Everybody did. I don't know what the deal was, why they wouldn't take him.
Well, I want him to come back to the Gators and just go for his Masters, maybe and keep playing.
And keep playing, yeah. That's you.
Well, I would have liked to seen him get picked up by Jacksonville.
It would have been great.
I think Jacksonville
would have filled some stands for a change.
Yeah, when you're a team that you're going bankrupt and you're looking at moving out of the state because you can't fill your stands, bring a superstar like that at least fills the stands.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And he can bring some energy to your team.
Well, we're on the Ledge radio show right now with JD and Smitty. If you want to call in, 277-9600 or 775-9600. It's early, so forgive us. We're a little under the weather here. Just trying to wake
check
up.
us out, theledgeradioshow.com, streaming live in the studio, or you can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com, The Ledge Radio Show. Coming up in just a few moments, we've got Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott in studio. We'll be able to take callers for the sheriff, and we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Zito and Jared. These pills are something. What's going to happen to me when I run out of them? Yeah, this chick is love goddess.
Seeing little green people right now.
Man.
Zito, how does my face look right now? Is it melting?
It looks normal.
You must be messed up.
Zito and Garrett middays, 10 to 2 p.m. after Bubba on 96 K-Rock.
If you're a boat enthusiast, then you know just how much fun boating can be. Whether you're fishing in the Gulf or just taking in the beautiful sights that can only be seen from a boat, there's nothing quite like it. Boat owners also know that it takes time to maintain that boat. So when it comes to cleaning, detailing, and restoration, Summer Jade is on board for you. Summer Jade specializes in full-service detailing. They also offer teak restoration, underwater hull cleaning, and hull painting. It doesn't matter if you have a small boat or a large yacht. They do the job with quality results. Summer Jade is family-owned and operated, serving Lee County and the surrounding areas. And best of all, their rates can't be beat. Call today and ask for Eric. He has some great promotional rates, some as low as $11 per foot.
I'm Eric Naylor, the owner of Summer Jade. Our rates are unbeatable. Call me at 239-878-6947. That's 878-6947. In Florida, it's summer every day.
Summertime. And the boating is easy.
When it comes to finding a reliable general contractor, you need to pick someone with a solid background and a good reputation. D Squared Construction gives you all that and more. They are family owned and operated and stand behind every project. Quality workmanship and satisfaction to the customer has made them one of the premier contractors in Southwest Florida since 2004. Small residential renovations to large commercial projects, they do it all, and they do it all well. Your projects are much too important to trust just anyone. D Squared Construction will come to your house or commercial project and give you a free on-site estimate. Call Cav & Dwyer at 239-561-4108. That's 239-561-4108. for a free consultation and some good sound advice. They won't waste your time or your money. D Squared Construction. when it needs to get done right.
Hey there, Sarah. You better wipe that smile off your face. People will wonder what you've been doing.
If they only knew my secret.
Well, tell me what your secret is. I love a good secret.
Well, my husband surprised me yesterday by taking me to the Health and Harmony Center. I got a full-body Swedish massage and picked up a few other items just for me.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
It was better than awesome. It was the most relaxing 1 hour that I've experienced in a long, long time and well overdue. At the Health and Harmony Center, they offer massage, yoga, acupuncture, natural medicines, fitness classes, workshops, and more. I can't wait to go back. It was certainly better than a card and flowers.
Call the Health and Harmony Center now for more details and ask about their 1 hour Swedish massage special for only $65 now through April the 14th. Put a smile on someone's face. Call 239-433-5995. That's 239-433-5995. Or stop by at 15951 McGregor Avenue.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge! Can you take me higher? This country sure as hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Imperial Fire Alarm and Security. Securing your world. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty!
Welcome back. This is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Phone numbers to call in are 277-9600 or 775-9600. Check us out on the web, theledgeradioshow.com, facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show also. And this morning we're proud to present Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott live in studio. Sheriff Scott, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me in.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming. Smitty, I know you've got some questions for the sheriff, but let me get with him real quick. Sheriff, you know, I want to first kind of showcase what do you got going on right now. What's some of the most recent successes, and maybe even something
Talk about what you talked about this morning when he came in.
Yeah. What?
Sure. Well, let's start right out with that. It's a matter of public safety, and that's the business I'm in. We had a high-profile homicide, double homicide, about a week ago. It was a mother and a son found shot to death in their home, and we made 2 arrests early this morning. The mountain of evidence that we've been able to put together, both witnesses and other evidence. And so we're confident we have the people responsible for that. And that's, again, a high-profile case that kind of grips a community. You don't think about a mother and a son.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's... So we're very happy and, reassuring for the community. We're going to be making a formal press release later, but you've got an exclusive here this morning. So
nice.
That's big time, right?
That's what we're here for, man. Well,
Yeah.
I tell you what, that's great. I mean, you guys obviously have a great staff, to get out there and collect the evidence you need to bring charges against this. This is... we want to make sure that we get people like this off the streets, and we appreciate what you do for that.
Yeah, people are understandably concerned, and what I try to reinforce for folks is that if there's any good news at all with a murder, and there's very little good news, is that they're almost always a relationship.
Okay.
Very, very rarely is it some random shooter just going up and down the road. There's some type of a drug connection, gang connection, lovers quarrel connection, domestic, etc. There's some type of targeted. So that and it'll come out, of course, as the details on this one. And this was the case. So there was a specific reason for this. It wasn't.
There were some other murders out there in Lehigh too. Were they connected in any way? There's some other stuff that was going on.
They're not. In fact, we're very, very close, Smitty, on the other one.
Okay.
And very, very close. Just to the point of one more person we need to speak with. So we're really working these things hard. Let's face it. That's the most serious crime you can have in a community.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that we divert all our resources when that happens.
Well, like I said, we really appreciate it. Everyone, this is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. We do have Sheriff Mike Scott in studio this morning.
So if you want any questions answered and you want to go to the head of the line here, this is your chance. And just feel free to give us a call at 277-9600 or 775-9600, theledgeradioshow.com.
Yeah, if you got any speeding tickets you need wiped clean,
Sure.
just call us up.
Sure.
We'll see what we can do for you. That's probably not a possibility, is it?
Probably not. I'm just thinking.
Dang it. Well,
it's early, but not that early.
I'll put my tickets back in my pocket then. All right, Smitty, I know you got some pointy
Well,
questions.
of course, when we prep for the show, we have to do some investigating on you. Please don't get personal. But
Smitty's idea of investigation is Google.
It is, and Wikipedia.
Oh God! Yeah, and let me reiterate. Wikipedia. If you look up on the top right of any Wikipedia page, it shows where you can add your own information. So don't treat that like it's the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Okay, Dad. Anyhow, I was looking around at some stuff that was posted out there and looking up some information, and a couple of things just popped up right away. And one of the big things they were talking about was the sign incident.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big thing. People said, why were you tearing down the sign? Not you personally, but
were you out there personally on the weekend on your motorcycle tearing down signs?
No.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm absolutely positive. What people probably need to realize on that is that we typically remove signs. We have our voice volunteers and others. There are ordinances and such that prohibit it. In this case, the signs were specific to me. It was calling me a racist, as you know, some pretty sharp.
Liar and stuff like
exactly,
that. Right?
Exactly. And I was kind of comforted to know that we found the fellow who was doing it, and in other words, outed him.
How the heck did you find a guy put up a sign?
We had two guys. Well, we had
that's some good work there.
Well, hey, listen, it's like there are a lot of cigarette butts that get thrown out the window. You don't catch everybody, but occasionally you catch one. This was two narcotics guys that were in San Carlos Park area on a surveillance, and they saw him pull up in his truck, get out of his truck, and start tacking onto the utility pole. So they confronted him with it, and. I'll be diplomatic. I mean, I'm not going to mention him here, but he's a well-known local businessman, and
I can name his name. I don't mind.
Yeah, Fred Kobe. So anyway, and there's a charge pending right now. You're not supposed to go around tacking things onto utility pole, but unfortunately, it's juvenile. I think people kind of see through that. I mean, if you have a beef with somebody, bring it through media or bring it to some type of a public forum. Don't run around like a thief in the night tacking.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, you're to get a hold of you is fairly simple. I mean, you can go right to the sheriff's website, shoot you an email,
or to the office.
Well, yeah, call 911. You'll show right up.
That's right.
But if they've got a problem specifically for you, I'm sure they can address something right to you. Send it right to your email. And if it's something that you find a reason to respond to, I'm sure you get back with them.
Everybody gets a personal and prompt response, as you found it.
Exactly.
In coordinating this interview.
Well, exactly.
I bet they do.
What's that car doing out front?
But anyway, that's the gig on the sign, Smitty. It's just it is what it is. Look, I can't. I'm in a business where we make a lot of enemies. We arrest people, we evict people, we taser people, we gas people, we write people tickets.
Man, I should have had that job.
Yeah, right. And
we could tase you today.
No. I'll tase you.
You get a little bit of a flake once in a while. Like I said, sort of takes their personal beefs to a unique level. And signs everywhere.
Sure. Well, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that there's not even an ordinance, and maybe there is, against using a utility pole. I would think that maybe FP&L or whoever's in charge of that pole that they wouldn't allow people to put stuff up there too.
Yeah, they're not wild about it.
I would bet.
I had suggested earlier that if he was so into poles, he might look at like a Babes or a Lookers or something. Stay away from the utility.
Well, that's good. At least
exactly.
You're promoting local business.
That's right. Free enterprise.
Right on the air, Sheriff Scott promoting local business on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
Is that also an exclusive?
That's an exclusive. You heard it first.
Smitty, we got a caller. We got a call. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. Go. Caller, are you there?
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
What you got, sir?
I just want to tell Mike Scott he's doing a hell of a good job. And the gentleman you're speaking of, isn't he the one that's got the son that's got a lawsuit pending with the Sheriff's Department?
That's correct.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
And
he's also a umpire and everything else. But I just want to tell you you're doing a good job, and keep up the good work. And I've seen the signs. I was curious to know who it was that was stupid enough to do that. And here again, I guess there's still degenerates in the world. So.
I'm sure the sheriff thanks you for his kind words. You're not related to him, are you?
Is this a planted call?
No, sir, I'm not. But
he didn't pay you?
No, sir. But I just want to say keep up the good work, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's a battery charger early in the morning.
Nice.
Are you running for office now, or?
Yeah. Well, it's always
who's your competition?
I'm in the same side. Well, I consider it opposition, not really competition.
Okay.
There you go.
Just
that is smooth.
It's just semantics. God. But I have two guys running. Actually, three. One in the general.
Which one would you vote for if you weren't running?
None of the three. I'd come up with a write-in.
Come on.
No, it's the season. It's the season. I mean, from presidential all the way down, and so it's politics. you know, it was really a big
101.
buzz. Yeah, right, exactly, 101. But yeah, we've got a campaign underway, and I feel good about it. But my first focus is, of course, the job, and then I'm like everybody else. I've got a family and a personal life, and politics though comes in there pretty close.
We talked about when you first came in. You were talking about the budget and you know how it affects everything. And from what I see here, and again, I'm just pulling the stuff off different wires. and whatnot.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
Don't hire Smitty as your PI.
The guy from Sweden, what's his name? Juliet Assange.
Oh, the WikiLeaks guy.
Yeah, WikiLeaks. But I guess the budget's been cut for $6 million. Is that correct, or is that wrong?
Well, last year, the budget over the last 3 years running has been reduced $17 million. Of course, it's no secret we've been in an economic spiral downward.
Sure.
We are affected by that. I mean, we're based on the property tax base, and we all know the value of homes has gone down. Therefore, the available money has gone down, and so we're trying to work within that. Keep the crime rate and the budget sort of in sync.
So when the budget gets cut, who really takes the hammer on your side of the fence? What department really gets the brunt of it?
Well, the biggest thing over the last 3 years has been, unfortunately, on the backs of the brave men and women that are the sheriff's office, and that's through salary increases or lack thereof. When you've got 1,600 employees,
that's a lot,
and you talk about a 2 or 3 or 4% pay raise, you're talking about millions. That equates to millions of dollars. So that's one of the savings we've made. There's been other efficiencies that we've recognized.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're just glad you're in here to talk to us about this. This is the Ledge Radio Show with J.D. and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. We got Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott in office. Phone numbers are 277-9600, 775-9600. And, Sheriff, when it comes to the budget, I know that there's always going to be a disgruntled employee or two that are concerned. They think they're not cared about because they're not getting a raise, because they're used to getting a raise for the last 20 years or what have you. But, that's something that Smitty and I talk about. When the money's not there, you got one of two choices. We can either give you guys a raise right now and then lay half of you off next year, or be happy to have a job, keep your good salary, and as many good benefits as you can keep. And let's hope that the economy turns around where we can get you a raise. I mean, do you see it like that, or?
I think you've been reading my emails to our staff, because that's exactly been my message, is that, look, in these terrible times, make no doubt about it, the worst economic times of our lifetime that we've been in these last few years. During that time, the Lee County Sheriff's Office has not laid off one person. We have not furloughed one person. We have not cut the pay or benefit package of one person, nor have we changed our delivery of service. Choppers still in the air, boats are still on the water. We're moving forward. I feel like it's been a success being able to maintain what we had. We have not added. We've not really added anything, but we've certainly not lost.
Sure.
And others around us have. The fire service, city police departments, they've all taken pay cuts. And
Smitty, we got a caller on the line. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with J.D. and Smitty. Go.
Oh, I had a question for Sheriff Scott.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, about 2 months ago, my son was in a basketball game, and we feel that he's being bullied by one of the assistant coaches. And what had happened was something that has been going on pretty much all season. He had gotten smacked in the head by a coach, and this happened, like I say, about 2 months ago in Cape Coral. And the odd thing is I have it on videotape, and I was wondering if there's any measures I should take, or
Sheriff,
or what course of action I should take with that.
Absolutely. Well, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I mean, that's very, very compelling evidence, and I don't know about the time delay. I mean, typically we like to have things reported, promptly. So the other question I had that came to mind, not that it matters as long as you have a photograph, but was this a school-sanctioned event, or was this some private league? Like it was school?
It was a high school game.
High school, yeah. So, you've got recourse there as well with, potentially with the school district if you didn't go through criminal prosecution. It's against the law to touch someone like that against their will. It's called a battery. It's a simple battery. And
I tell you what, I wouldn't post a sign on a pole, though, and advise it.
Well,
don't go to the school and post
I can appreciate where you're coming from. Just out of curiosity, since we're talking about it, how long ago was this?
This was almost exactly 2 months ago. It was happening in Cape Coral, and it's something that's been ongoing all season, not only with my son, but other players on the team.
And I think, are there some bullying rules and laws on the books?
Yeah,
that's exactly it. I mean, bullying is a big deal in schools.
It's a big deal now all over. Everybody's getting on board with that.
Right. I think it sounds to me like it's probably time to take some action. And, again, it's always better to do it sooner rather than later. On this
Right.
particular incident with your son, 2 months later, we could still work with that. But it's a battery. It's a misdemeanor battery. And, of course, the photo or the video that you have would be, very damning evidence for the person responsible.
Yeah, it's a little excessive. I mean, it's not a pat on the butt. It's not a punch. It's not a slap. I would term it merely a smack, where you have your hand flat up against your head. But
Do you need it?
No, that's battery. Yeah, if you're hitting a kid in the side of the head, that's battery. I mean, that's.
Well, I'll tell you a personal story.
Thanks, caller. We appreciate it, bud.
I was in school when I wasn't a great kid, and the teacher actually took his ring, his high school or college ring, and turned it upside down and smacked me in my head. I was probably in 6th grade. And
I'm sure you deserved it.
I probably did. But that's not the story. The story is I went home, and my mom was there. Of course, she loved me, and she was rubbing my head. She was, my gosh, what happened to you? I said, the teacher hit me in the side of the head with a ring. And she looked at that, and she said, I'll take you to school tomorrow. So my mom, who was a redhead, took me to school, went right up to the teacher. This is old school. Walked him out of the classroom, brought me out with him, closed the door, and said, look what you did, and just shamed him so bad. Made him apologize to me.
Wow.
And then, and this is old school, and this is how I love it, because God forbid it should ever go back to where it was. It was great. And she said, I'm going to do you a favor, she told him. She was, I'm not going to tell his father, because if his father finds out that you did this to him, believe me, it wouldn't be pretty.
I'm sure.
And man, that guy apologized to me and was great to me the rest of the year. And, that's the old school way of handling things. And unfortunately, we can't go turn back the hands of time. But,
is this going to be a long story?
Yeah, that's the end of it.
That was a wonderful story.
And I went home and, thanked everybody.
I'm sure you did. This Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Phone numbers are 277-9600 or 775-9600. We've got Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott in the studio this morning. And Sheriff Scott, I got a question. It's kind of off topic. I don't know. Is there a term limits for, sheriff?
There are not term limits. It's a 4-year term as you go. I was elected in 04, re-elected in 08. Trying again now here in 12.
Okay.
And so now there's talk of that, not so much for the sheriff, but for other constitutionals like county commissioners. And it's debatable. Mm-hmm. Do you get somebody? I think it's always up to the people. I mean, that's our system. If the people feel you're still doing a good job, it's like a school teacher. What difference does it make if you've been teaching for 10 years or 30 years? You still have the same passion and drive, and you're producing.
Yeah.
Now, if you start to get lame, I think they take you to the polls and they knock you upside the head like Smitty got knocked upside the head there a while
back. Well, I would say this,
it.
at least for sheriff, because when a new sheriff comes in, generally there are drastic changes that take place. Maybe they choose to go with a different gun. I don't know. Maybe they buy all new cars. So it seems
Vipers.
To me, yeah. It seems to me that it would be more cost effective anyway, as long as the current sheriff isn't just spending all his money, at lookers. But as long as he's doing a good job, keep the guy in office. If the public's happy with him, and I think you're going to save a lot of money doing that just right off the bat.
Well, continuity in anything generally is decent. You know what I'm saying? You build a culture, and again, the people are the gauge of that. They determine what's going on. That's my job performance review every 4 years.
Sure.
And take it seriously.
That's a tough review.
It is a tough review. 600,000 people in this community.
Colin, let me ask you a quick question. If you want to call in, we got the sheriff on the line. It's 277-9600 and 775-9600. Like you just said, continuity is everything. And in your department, in your opinion, what problems do you see that you would change? If you could make a policy and say, you know what, because we're not perfect, but I'm looking at my situation I'm in. If I had to make some changes, where are the problems that you see?
Well, morale is always a challenge, especially, again, in this economy. I hate to, bear too far down on this budget and the pay raises and such, but it is hard to keep morale up, when folks are struggling. And it's no secret that law enforcement is not one of the higher paid professions out there, like teachers, firefighters, and such. So I think morale, for me, trying to balance those 1,600 men and women, balancing those egos, those agendas, those needs, those wants, those realities, day in and day out, sort of the coach on the sideline trying to keep the team fired up.
I mean, we argue just me and him, so I can imagine trying to keep 1,600 people happy.
Think about it. We've got 5 or 6 people in this room right now. Let's say they're all sergeants, and it's time to promote a lieutenant. We'll promote one guy. Okay, Smitty, you got it. You're up. Now. You get the lieutenant. Now, you're happy.
JD, you're fired.
But everybody else is not.
You're happy. Your wife's happy. Your kids are happy. Your neighbors are happy. Everybody's happy. But the ones that didn't get it, I should have gotten it. So I'm in a business where I kind of make one guy happy and I burn 5 or 6. Over time, those odds catch up. And I think on balance, we're doing pretty well. The other thing is, of course, it goes hand in hand, is the ongoing budget. I mean, we're a big monster to feed.
Sure.
We don't make money. We don't generate revenue like, say, the tax collector. You go register your boat, your jet ski, your car. We spend money.
Yeah.
And it's a big budget.
Speaking of money, and this is the Ledge Radio Show with J.D. and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. We've got Sheriff Mike Scott in studio. Phone numbers are 277 or 775-9600. Sheriff, I got a question for you. This is, as you know, downtown Fort Myers, they go through these redevelopments and these beautification projects once in a while, and they're in the middle of one right now, okay? And Smitty and I, we drive downtown sometimes. We're going to look for a restaurant or something like that, and the first thing you pass is this is the jail that's like 3 blocks long. I mean, if it was me planning to beautify downtown, it's take the jail out of downtown, make that some usable space for, I don't know, not condos, but businesses or something. Has that ever been thought about, or is the jail there in that specific spot for a reason?
Well, just the opposite. In fact, the jail was there. It was torn down in 1983 and rebuilt. So there was a decision made, some time ago to keep it downtown. The benefits, of course, are that all the judges and the courtrooms and everything are very close. Keep in mind, though, only 1/3 of our inmate population is downtown. 2/3 is out at Ortiz.
And that'd be a perfect place to put it.
And it would. Well, there again, you take it from the down.
Sure.
It's the old saying, nobody wants a prisoner or jail in their backyard.
Right.
And I understand that.
Or waterfront property.
Yeah, waterfront property. Well, it is a beautiful downtown area, and I mean, it's another government building. I think it's okay. I don't think you're going to see it change. Let's put it that way. Although I wouldn't be opposed to it.
You were talking about salaries. What's the average salary for a starting deputy?
Starting deputy is about $35,000. Includes full medical, vision, and dental for them and any dependents. So if you hire on with the sheriff's office, and let's say you got a wife and 2 children, that's a big ticket right there. Our starting salary is slightly below some of our counterparts, but it balances out very quickly when you consider benefits.
Absolutely.
Now do the officers put in a lot of overtime? Is there a lot of overtime spent on that?
Not so much overtime. What we have are off-duty details. For example, spring break, the county fair, the Red Sox, the Twins, a variety of traffic details where when they're off duty, they can suit up, go out and make $35, $40, $45 an hour.
Do you need help? I'll help you.
Yeah, I imagine you would. I worked a lot of details when I was a deputy. Worked the Bonita dog track. Many.
But now that money comes from whoever's hiring it for that detail.
Correct. That's not tax dollars. In other words, in the case of the Red Sox, for example, we have 22 officers per game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We have 8 inside the stadium and 14 outside for traffic and perimeter and parking lot. They're all being paid by the Red Sox.
Sure.
So it's no cost to the taxpayer. The deputy has an opportunity to thinkably double his or her salary in over a year's time.
Are you hiring anybody now? Or are you actively going out and really trying to bring in more officers, I guess?
Hiring is spotty. It's not like it was. When I first started, the biggest challenge...
You got to have money to hire.
You got to have money to hire, exactly. We're more in a hold what you got, sort of hold it right now together. But there's times when people, for whatever reason, medical, they relocate. Sometimes, unfortunately, disciplinary.
And you can fill those vacancies.
Attrition, right.
Yeah.
So there's some spotty hiring going on.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sheriff, before we let you go, before the break comes up, what are some of your successes over the last few years, something that you can highlight, to tell the average listener that some of the stories that don't get posted in the newspaper? Is there something that you feel really proud about that you've been involved in, that you can highlight with us today?
Well, I think the single biggest benchmark for a law enforcement officer is what? Crime and the crime rate. And the reality is, and of course we track this incessantly through numbers and computers and everything else, and the crime rate 08, 09, 10, 11 has declined. It's fallen in all 4 previous years. At the same time, the budget, as we said earlier, is falling.
Sure.
So with a falling budget and a falling crime rate, I have to point to that as probably, and it's not my success, it's the success of those 1,600 people we talked about. I intend to keep that trend moving forward. We talked about continuity earlier. I'm kind of one of those, if it's not broken, don't fix it until it's broken. And with a falling crime rate and a falling budget, that's one of my biggest successes, I think.
Well, is there a place where the audience can visit, maybe a website to help your campaign? Do you have anything like that set up? Or?
Well, WeWantMike.com is up and running. WeWantMike.com, and of course the sheriff's office website is not so much political, but clearly they can handle business there. Like this gentleman that had the son that got smacked around, or whatever the case. They have sheriff's office business. They can get me through the sheriff's office as we talk.
Okay.
And if they have campaign or political issues, they can go to WeWantMike.com.
Absolutely. Smitty, you got anything else for him before we go to break?
No, that's all. I want to thank him for coming in and putting up with with me. I appreciate it. And,
Yep.
you know, somebody's got to throw some rocks in your pond every once in a while, and that'd be me.
All right, folks. We'll be back in a few. The Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty.
You never know what we're going to say or do. Take 96 K-Rock wherever you go with the iRadio Now app.
iRadio Now.
Available for free on all smartphones, including Android. The biggest personalities in radio entertainment. Available on one app.
iRadio Now.
The iRadio Now app for all smartphones.
Just go to the App Store and search iRadio Now and download it for free.
Brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District, Coconut Point.
Visit 96krock.com for more information.
iRadio Now.
96 K-Rock.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm, security, and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
When it comes to finding a reliable general contractor, you need to pick someone with a solid background and a good reputation. D Squared Construction gives you all that and more. They are family owned and operated and stand behind every project. Quality workmanship and satisfaction to the customer has made them one of the premier contractors in Southwest Florida since 2004. Small residential renovations to large commercial projects, they do it all, and they do it all well. Your projects are much too important to trust just anyone. D Squared Construction will come to your house or commercial project and give you a free on-site estimate. Call Cav & Dwyer at 239-561-4108. That's 239-561-4108 for a free consultation and some good sound advice. They won't waste your time or your money. D Squared Construction, when it needs to get done right.
If you're a boat enthusiast, then you know just how much fun boating can be. Whether you're fishing in the Gulf or just taking in the beautiful sights that can only be seen from a boat, there's nothing quite like it. Boat owners also know that it takes time to maintain that boat. So when it comes to cleaning, detailing, and restoration, Summer Jade is on board for you. Summer Jade specializes in full-service detailing. They also offer teak restoration, underwater hull cleaning, and hull painting. It doesn't matter if you have a small boat or a large yacht. They do the job with quality results. Summer Jade is family owned and operated, serving Lee County and the surrounding areas. And best of all, their rates can't be beat. Call today and ask for Eric. He has some great promotional rates, some as low as $11 per foot.
I'm Eric Naylor, the owner of Summer Jade. Our rates are unbeatable. Call me at 239-878-6947. That's 878-6947. In Florida, it's summer every day.
And the boating is easy.
Get off the ledge! Get off the ledge! Can you take me higher? This country sure as hell been going down the drain.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future?
And now, live, unedited, unrehearsed, and unapologetic, brought to you by Imperial Fire Alarm and Security, securing your world. Straight off the ledge, it's JD and Smitty!
And we're back. This is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Phone numbers to call in are 277 or 775-9600. We're also streaming live HD video on theledgeradioshow.com, or check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/The Ledge Radio Show. And we've got Sheriff Mike Scott back in studio just for a few more moments, and I know Smitty's got something for him, so bring it up, buddy.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to touch on this real hot topic item here that most people have heard about on the airways for, I guess, weeks now, the Trayvon Martin thing.
Sure.
We've discussed it ourselves, and I have a different view, I think, than he does, of course. And I'll get your point of view on what do you think about that without getting too technical.
No, first of all, in that case specifically, unfortunately, we don't know here. We don't know enough.
All the facts.
All the facts. As we saw initially. First it was this, then it was that. Then we found out NBC fired a producer because they were doctoring the way the 911 call went down and everything.
Yeah, they did.
But clearly, without any hesitation, no matter what jurisdiction it occurs in, Neighborhood Watch is to just do that. Watch, listen, and then report to law enforcement who are trained to engage. We never, ever encourage citizens to engage.
Well,
so, the question becomes, it seems there's no dispute that he was told by the dispatcher, are you pursuing him? There's some evidence of that apparently. Sure. I think that I'd like to hope, like everyone, that it didn't get sensationalized to the point where they felt they had to level charges. But clearly, this took in a lot of dynamics. Race came into the picture almost immediately.
Immediately.
It was a big, it was a race. We had a dead person, regardless of color, etc. But these are the dynamics that happen. And, we no sooner get through one big case, high profile, you get the Casey Anthony, now you got Trayvon Martin. There'll be something next, who knows. But that's my take on it, is that we simply don't know enough here to comment intelligently on the do's and don'ts, the ins and outs of that case.
Well, and you mentioned a good word, sensationalize. The media did sensationalize it from the get-go. And right off the bat, like you said, it was a race case. It was a white-on-black crime. Then when they found out that the guy was half Hispanic or all Hispanic, I think he was half Hispanic, then they had to drop the race part a little bit. But then you got race baiters like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson up there, Black Panther Party trying to create a mob scene. So now we've got the special prosecutor that did bring charges. He's been arrested. I think the governor, he's had to set up a special task force. So it is what it is. But the bottom line is, the media and the folks, we didn't have the evidence. We didn't know what's going on, and it shouldn't be our duty to try to sensationalize stuff like this. Let's let law enforcement take its course. And I know that whatever happens now, it's going to happen for real. They're on it. They're not letting it go.
I agree.
277-9600 or 775-9600.
And Smitty, we've got a caller on the line. Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty. What you got?
Hi, I just got one question. How come they're allowed to just show the picture of him being very, very young when it's not his actual picture, and they're showing the other guy's picture, at his normal age?
Well, that's true. Again, you've got the left-wing media that's, they're all for the state, the statist mentality. They're going to promote the agenda of the left, which is to bring race into it.
Do you think it's more about that, or do you think it's more about stand your ground law actually coming up? Do you think that's the main issue, that now they're going to use this as a poster child to say, hey, you know what? Nobody should carry a gun. What do you
I think it's all of the above.
Yeah.
This thing really has a lot of elements of everything.
Check the bottom box. All of the above.
Well, they're going to be hard pressed, because that Second Amendment is a pretty significant roadblock to this gun issue.
Do you support it? Stand your ground law.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. There has never been a time in our nation's history when a human being had to stand there and let themselves get shot, beaten up with a baseball bat, or stabbed, or anything else. You have the right to protect yourself. Again, they're commingling the law with maybe a variance from the law. In other words, if the Zimmerman guy was outside the law, well, there are a lot of laws on the books. People break the law. You don't change the law. You go to the person that broke the law. And unless it's a bad law. Stand your ground, in my estimation, is fine. And there's never been a time in our history when we had to stand there and let ourselves be killed or harmed.
Well, you got to feel for the family. Here's a kid walking with Skittles and down the road, and this guy pursues him when the 911 operator clearly, like you just said, don't pursue him. And he did. And then he gets shot because allegedly the story is kind of ambiguous.
They struggled.
There was some kind of conflict. The guy turned around talking to his girlfriend, and I'll find out what he wants. I don't know.
Think of it this way. If you were walking down in the neighborhood, you're going to the store, and you notice some guy following you, and in your mind you're innocent.
I just hope it's not Mike Scott. That's all.
But let's say you turn around to ask the guy what's going on. You get in a scuffle before you know it. You've been shot. But the bottom line is we still don't know all that evidence. It hasn't all came out. We've got bits and pieces. So it's we're not going to fry him. We're not going to fry anybody here. I mean, there is validity to what the caller just said. They are showing the Trayvon picture where he's 14 years old or so. Supposedly now he's 17. He's 6'3". He's a big guy.
I'd be like a spider monkey on him, man. I'd be kung fu.
Well, maybe. I mean, but George Zimmerman looked like he's about 5'9". But but he's got a gun. That's
I'll run around the car. I'll keep running around until he gets tired and falls down.
That's the equalizer right there. If you got a gun and you know how to use it, it's the equalizer. But you better use it on the right side of the law, and that's what he's looking at right now. And I don't think it looks good for him.
Absolutely. And I got to tell you that just my gut. You go with your gut. My gut from day one is that Zimmerman was a little over the top here. Not a little, a lot over the top. But it's going to have to play out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How many people that have watches around here, neighborhood watches, that do you know guys in the local area that carry a gun there? Is it a 50-50 thing?
I wouldn't necessarily know that because, Florida has a fairly liberal concealed carry permit. In other words, more or less, you can get one if you want one. And so I support that, too. I've got a whole stack of applications in the trunk of my car right now for concealed carry applications.
So they have to go through you?
Well, no, they go through the state, but people ask me all the time.
Oh, okay.
And I say, hey, I've got an application here.
Oh, there you go.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I'm not worried about the person that gets fingerprinted and goes through the background checks. That's not the person that's going to go out and hold up a bank or, So with that said, we have many, many neighborhood watch programs. How many, if any, have weapons, I wouldn't know.
Okay.
We wouldn't know that. But we encourage neighborhood watch. Watch, listen, report to law enforcement. Do not pursue, do not engage. I'm afraid that over in Sanford, Zimmerman engaged to the extent that, J.D. mentioned, hey, look, somebody's following me. What's going on here?
Yeah. Well, this is the Ledge Radio Show with J.D. and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. Phone lines are 277-9600 and 775-9600. And I think, what you just brought up about the concealed weapon permit, a lot of folks have them. And, whenever the liberals come in, and as soon as they see a case like this, they want to jump on that bandwagon. Oh, you got to get rid of the guns. You got to get rid of the guns. The people that would turn in their guns, they're the honest citizen. You're not going to get the criminal to turn in his gun.
Absolutely.
I mean, so that makes no sense. I mean, if you look at different countries that have tried this, Australia. I got a friend of mine from Australia. He comes here 6 months out of the year to be an umpire. He said as soon as they had to turn in all their guns, the crime rate went skyrocketed high because now they can't protect themselves.
Well, in England, the cops don't even carry guns, do they?
Wow.
They just carry billy clubs.
Well,
so what do you say to that?
I guess you better be an MMA fighter or something.
Carry a big club?
I guess, man. I mean, I don't know, but is that your feeling those are the people that aren't going to turn their guns in? It's the guy with the gun with a serial number scratched off, or
absolutely, it's the old cliche bumper sticker that's tried and true. If guns are outlawed, only outlaws will have guns. I've got this 40 on my ankle right here.
That's a bumper sticker.
Nice.
I take that out and set it on the table and walk away. Come back 50 years later. That gun has not shot anyone. It has not robbed any bank. It's the human element.
Sure.
And bad guys and bad girls will always have a gun. They'll always have drugs. They'll always drink and drive. They'll always be domestic abusers. Whatever it is that they do, they're going to do that. Taking away, beer is not going to stop an alcoholic from drinking. You're going to get it somewhere.
No, but you definitely cause a riot scene.
We have a caller.
Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with J.D. and Smitty. Go.
Hey, I'm curious. Did he have to shoot to kill? Did he not have shot this boy in the leg, a hand even, just to get him off of him? Did he have to kill this young man?
Deadly force is deployed, whether it's a law enforcement officer or a citizen, whether they're a concealed carry permit holder, no matter what the case, you are shooting to stop the threat. In other words, you have to articulate that you're being threatened, your life and limb is threatened, and that you're stopping the threat. We don't shoot cufflinks off of people. We don't shoot buttons off vests.
I've seen that on TV. It's a very good shot.
Well,
by the way.
that's Gunsmoke and Festus Hagen. You shoot center mass to stop the threat.
And you can do basically whatever's necessary to stop the threat.
Correct. The question here again is: was there a threat, or did he make it a threat?
Well, the reason I'm asking if he had to shoot to kill, when you pull a gun out of a holster, you're at one level, and then as the gun comes up, you have many choices as to where you're going to shoot the person. You could have easily shot him in the thigh.
Well,
that's easier said than done.
Think about.
I believe you.
Thanks, caller. Think about this though. We don't know when the shot occurred. Okay, if he's rolling around the ground with the guy and you're able to maintain control of your own firearm, which is going to be tough to do anyway, especially if the guy's bigger than you are. If you take a shot, you're not able to aim when you're rolling around the ground. You can't go for his foot or his arm. you're just going to shoot to hopefully stop whatever's happening.
Haven't you seen Don Knotts with the gun and he gets excited and he's got no way to shoot?
You know who can shoot, man, is that guy from Justified, that Raylan Givens on FX.
Yeah.
Man, he is good.
Yeah.
I know it's no trick photography either. He's awesome,
I mean,
man.
Chris Angel just bite the bullet.
I don't know, but I mean, absolutely. You know, when you look at that, though, if you're rolling around the ground, you know, Sheriff, I mean,
well, and he mentioned shoot him in the thigh. I mean, you hit the femoral artery and you bleed out in about 30 seconds. So, thigh shot is not necessarily not a kill shot as well. Listen, guns are serious business. I certainly hope that it's not been interpreted that I've underestimated any of that. It's deadly business, serious business. But you fire a weapon, deadly force, to stop deadly force and stop the threat. And whether you hit them in the ear or the toe or center mass, it's to stop the threat. It's not for anything. It's not to scare them. We don't fire warning shots. When that gun comes out of the holster, it's for a reason.
All right, everyone, this is the Ledge Radio Show with J.D. and Smitty. Phone numbers are 277-9600, 775-9600. Smitty, before we get to the next question for the Sheriff, I know you got to give a plug to your car guy.
Yeah, my car guy has been great, man. I got to hand it to him. He's a local guy, and Terry Winter, he's on Fowler Street. He's been terrific. I took a couple cars up to him because I have junkers, and he fixed them up for me. He gave me an honest assessment. I had him other places I won't mention, and I've been dealing with him, and he just said, hey, man, help me out. I said, hey, absolutely, I'll give you a plug because he's a good guy. So if you're looking for a even fair shake with a reputable guy, Terry Winter's the guy to call.
Well, and I think Terry Winter's number is 939-2500 if you're interested.
Man, look at you.
I'm on it like Blue Bonnet.
Man, you are on it.
All right, Sheriff, I got a question for you. And this it's probably more something for the state to answer, but because you're in the position you're in, I'm going to ask you. It revolves around child support. As you know, you guys, there's a lot of men and probably some women that get arrested for child support neglect. But in this state, we've got an issue where, and it hits home to my family even. If you owe child support and you lose your job, you still owe child support.
Right.
And let's say the mother or the father, they're having to get that support from the state. But if you can't pay it, they're going to take your license. Now you can't get to work. Now you can't get to work. And if it's been too long, they issue a warrant for you, and then you go to jail. Well, obviously, when you're in jail, you can't pay the support.
Just tell them not your problem, Sheriff. Just tell them not my problem.
Not my problem.
Isn't that a great answer?
I think Smitty was serious about me saying that.
We got a caller.
Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with J.D. and Smitty. Are you there, caller?
Hello.
Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on what you guys are talking about, the thing in Orlando there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if it was handled by the Lee County Sheriff's Department, I think everything would have been completely different than the way they handled it over there.
Oh, how so?
There's a little bit. I believe there's a little bit of issue with the way they handled the case over there.
It sounded a little suspect. I mean, I maybe tend to agree with you on that. Thanks, caller.
What are you trying to say? They'd be buried out in the Everglades?
Well, Sheriff, I think that was kudos to you. I mean, it sounded like the caller. He thinks you guys are going to, you'd wrap that case up pretty quick, or at least find out what the issue was right away if you could.
You got to keep your family from calling in all the time,
right?
It's ridiculous.
But back to the child support thing. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone come up with a good way of getting these folks to take care of their child support. They can't do it from jail. They can't do it when they have no license. What if we had some type of a work program where the father, he's sitting there, he goes, man, I want to help my kid. I want to help, pay for his bills. I have no job, and now they've taken my license, and now they're threatening me with jail. If he had another avenue, like some type of a work program where he could go, and work on the side of the road for the state or for the county, maybe he gets paid that way. Maybe that helps offset the cost of his child support. Do you see anything that could ever be in the future maybe getting that to work?
I have not given that a lot of thought. It is a problem. You're right. When people are in jail, they can't pay their restitution.
Sure.
If they've stolen something, they can't pay their child support. And at the same time, sometimes that's the only leverage we have to get them serious about paying it when we get out. They don't want to go back in. A little leverage.
Sure.
So it's a tough spot.
We got a caller.
Caller, you're on the Ledge Radio Show with J.D. and Smitty. Go.
Hey, this is just calling in from Collier about the child support thing.
Yes, sir.
There is a whole separate side to it as well.
Okay.
For the good payers, and we still get stomped on because they loop people into, well, if you're behind on your child support, but those of us who are not behind on our child support, we get treated just as badly when we have to go down there and correct things.
Oh, really? You go like to the Department of Children and Families or wherever you got to go?
Yeah, when you have to go down, because in my case, I'm so overpaid, it's unbelievable, because the Department of Revenue, who controls all of that, they just keep taking it no matter what. I've had to go down to that office like 5 or 6 times and say, listen, the court order here says that this new modification is retro to a year ago, and they won't retro it. And so on their books, they say, well, you're behind. Well, no, I'm not behind. You just need to update your records. And they won't update them.
Sure.
It's a mess. That whole department is a mess.
Well, that's what you get. Sometimes that's how the government works. It's not that efficient.
And if you're actually paying your child support, man, congratulations. If you're a deadbeat dad, dun dun dun, we're coming to get you.
Well, that may be a question too for the governor. We're going to try to get the governor on soon. This is the Ledge Radio Show with JD and Smitty on 96 K-Rock. We were really happy to have Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott in studio with us today. Tune in next week, same time, same place, 8 o'clock on Saturdays. Phone numbers are 277-9600 and 775-9600. Smitty, any last words for the sheriff?
No, I just want to thank him for coming in and taking the abuse. He's very, very, very gentlemanly and healthy, and it was very nice of him to come in, and please be kind to me when we leave.
Sheriff, we really appreciate it, man. Have a great day, buddy.
Okay, guys, thanks.
All right, take care. All right, everybody. I guess that's it. We'll see y'all next week.
April 15th at Germain Arena. Southwest Florida will be in mass chaos with a special concert event featuring Godsmack, Stained, and Hailstorm. The Mass Chaos Tour at Germain Arena, Godsmack, and Stained. Sunday, April 15th. To purchase tickets, go to the Germain Arena box office, Ticketmaster, or 96krock.com.
Securing your family, your business, your property. That's what's important in your world. No matter how big, no matter how small. Secure your world with Imperial Fire Alarm and Security today.
Imperial Fire Alarm and Security is a local company with hometown service, the way it should be. One call to Imperial will align you with the most effective fire alarm security and surveillance systems, as well as state-of-the-art wireless monitoring. If you're a property manager or condo association member, ask about Imperial's wireless monitoring systems to replace costly and unreliable phone lines and save your community thousands. From individual homes to large communities, Imperial Fire Alarm and Security can secure your world.
Don't you think it's time to secure your world? Imperial Fire Alarm and Security services Lee, Charlotte, and Collier counties. Learn more at imperialfiresecurity.com or to schedule your free consultation, call 239-288-6482. Secure your world at imperialfiresecurity.com.
License number EF2000046.
When it comes to finding a reliable general contractor, you need to pick someone with a solid background and a good reputation. D-Squared Construction gives you all that and more. They are family owned and operated and stand behind every project. Quality workmanship and satisfaction to the customer has made them one of the premier contractors in Southwest Florida since 2004. Small residential renovations to large commercial projects, they do it all, and they do it all well. Your projects are much too important to trust just anyone. D-Squared Construction will come to your house or commercial project and give you a free on-site estimate. Call Cav and Dwyer at 239-561-4108. That's 239-561-4108 for a free consultation and some good sound advice. They won't waste your time or your money. D-Squared Construction, when it needs to get done right.
If you're a boat enthusiast, then you know just how much fun boating can be. Whether you're fishing in the Gulf or just taking in the beautiful sights that can only be seen from a boat, there's nothing quite like it. Boat owners also know that it takes time to maintain that boat. So when it comes to cleaning, detailing, and restoration, Summer Jade is on board for you. Summer Jade specializes in full-service detailing. They also offer teak restoration, underwater hull cleaning, and hull painting. It doesn't matter if you have a small boat or a large yacht. They do the job with quality results. Summer Jade is family owned and operated, serving Lee County and the surrounding areas. And best of all, their rates can't be beat. Call today and ask for Eric. He has some great promotional rates, some as low as $11 per foot.
I'm Eric Naylor, the owner of Summer Jade. Our rates are unbeatable. Call me at 239-878-6947. That's 878-6947. In Florida, it's summer every day.
And the the boating is easy.
Zito and Garrett.
Then the old people, their grandkids and families and people that don't belong here, high sock wearers, they all go back to Michigan and Wisconsin, and they're out of here. And no old entitled guy in front of you at the Publix trying to steal one of them sub bags from the deli counter. You can't do that. I'm old. I'm entitled to do that. I can do that. I can do whatever I want. I'm 100.
Zito and Garrett on 96 K-Rock.
The preceding has been a paid commercial program. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and not necessarily those of 96 K-Rock and the Beasley Broadcast Group.